All right, everyone, welcome. This is the official 700 subscriber stream for my channel. And I do want to thank everyone who's shown up tonight, at least tonight for me. So I want to say good evening, good night, good morning, and good afternoon to anyone who's watching. I'm going ahead and sending out a tweet just to make sure that people realize it's gone live. And I'm going to send out the notification on Facebook as well. Now, to get started, I need to get this thing fixed. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm going to tell you about the prizes. Now, in order to participate, it would obviously be easier if you're in the United States. The first prize, or prize number one, I should say, is a digital copy of Lord of the Rings, the motion picture trilogy. I have a card, has the three different codes for the three different movies. Now, if you want to participate in this drawing, what you're going to do in just a moment, and I'm going to share the screen as soon as I get to it. You're going to put in the prize one, PRIZE, and the number one. PRIZE 1. That's all you have to do. Put it in the chat, and we'll get started with the drawing. And I'd like to welcome everyone who's here. Let's start out with, earlier we had Rock Solid Productions, Gap Stargate, Rough Girl TV, For the Win Gaming and Sports, Christian Fandom Geek. Let's see here. Keely Chow, Crimson Mist, Raquel, SSG. Hey, how are you doing? And Pacific 414. Hey, Mike, what's going on? And, all right. We've got, let's see here. One entry for the prize one. You only have to enter it once, but it's no spaces. So PRIZ Gap Stargate, you would need to enter it again for prize one, PRIZE, no space, and the number one. And that is for the digital download for Lord of the Rings, the movie trilogy. Gorilla's Random Thoughts also enters. And let's see here. Rough Girl says, prize one, awesome. And we now have, let's see here. You look at the 4 entries, awesome. So I'm going to continue on for just a little bit to let people continue entering if they'd like to. I think it's only fair to leave a chance for people who want to participate. The best way, of course, to once you win, get in contact with me either on Twitter or Discord, and we'll figure out how to send it to you. If that's a problem, if you're not either on either Twitter or Discord, I have another idea in mind. But we'll find out who wins, and then we'll go from there. And thank you, Rough Girl. That means a lot. That means a lot. All right, now we do need and Zen Zoltan. Hello and welcome to the stream. Um, right now we are doing a drawing for a digital download for Lord of the Rings, the trilogy. So you get the codes for all three movies to download, and what you have to do is enter the phrase prize one, PRIZE 1, the number one. Like I'll show you, I'll highlight it like this. Prize one. That's how you enter for the first prize that I'm giving away. All right. Now, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and add, I've got 5 entries. I'm going to go ahead and add it to the stream. Now I'm going to draw. And the winner is Zen Zoltan. Zen Zoltan wins. Now, are you on either Twitter or Discord? Obviously, you can wait for a different prize. That's why I. Now with that one, I can actually email you, or if you don't have either one, I can go ahead and put the link in the chat. You come up, and I can get your information backstage, because all you have to do is just enter it back there, and only you and I will know. And good evening, Roger, Ryan Roger Athay. And good evening, Mountains of Elysium. How are you? And thank you very much. Let me go ahead and put the link in the chat. This is for Zan Zoltan only. Zan Zoltan, if you will come into the StreamYard, you can leave any information, either an email address or a mailing address. That way I can. Oh, you followed me on Twitter. Okay. Send me a message on Twitter then. That's fine. That's fine. We're going to draw again. No. No. That wasn't. Sorry, Gap. Wasn't. Good grief. Okay. Good God. Not what I wanted to do. Okay. Now we're going to have prize 2. Prize 2 will be the next phrase. And let me write down the prize 1 winner first before I get started. I had a pin right here. I mean, really? Yeah, I've had one of those days. Okay, let me get the name real quick. All right. Prize 1 is Zan. Okay. Well, now that I know you're on Twitter, we'll just exchange messages that way, or you can leave it in the private chat. Uh, all right, private chat. Okay. Um, you couldn't send me a message. Okay, follow me on Twitter, and I will follow you back. Notification. Okay. Let me follow you back. And here's a message. There we go. You should be able to respond from that. And we'll get that taken care of. All right. Now, for prize 2, it's going to operate the same way as prize 1, but it's going to have the same, prize 2 instead of prize 1. Prize 2 is a Blu-ray copy of Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country. It's a Blu-ray copy of Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country. So anyone who's interested in winning the Star Trek VI: Undiscovered Country prize, enter prize 2 in just a moment. So now you can start entering prize 2. PRIZE, the number 2. So all you have to do is look at the screen, see it says prize 2 on there. Anyone who's interested in participating, please feel free. Crimson Mist says, glad I waited. I prefer a hard copy. And so do I. So do I. So we're going to give a few minutes for this. Again, it is a Blu-ray of Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country. One of probably the best Star Trek movies around. Now, of course, nothing will beat 2, 3, and 4, but, Star Trek 6 is good. And good evening, Orville Nation. Now, again, prize 2, if you want to win Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country on Blu-ray. Prize 2 if you want to win the copy on Blu-ray of Star Trek 6. Eric Saunders says, 6 was my favorite. All right, let's see here. We now have 4 entries. So just give just another minute. And anyone else who's interested, prize 2 is what to enter in order to qualify for a Blu-ray copy of Star Trek 6. And with that, we've got 4 entries. I'm going to go ahead and draw now. And Gap Stargate is the winner. Gap Stargate is the winner. Write this down real quick. And I know you and I contact each other on Twitter, so go ahead, contact me on there. As to where to send the Blu-ray. That is prize 2. Okay. Let's go back. Okay. Prize 3 is going to be Star Trek First Contact. It's a Blu-ray copy of Star Trek First Contact. Anyone interested in winning Star Trek 6? I mean, 6. Whatever the hell number it is. 5, 6, 7, 8. Star Trek 8, basically. Star Trek First Contact. Enter prize 1, and you will be entered to win a Blu-ray copy of Star Trek First Contact. And it seems we've got one person interested in prize 3. Eric Sonder. Simply enter prize 3. I think there's a space in there. Make sure there's no space in there, please. Prize 3, like Gorilla did. Prize 3. PRIZE number 3. So, Eric, you'll have to re-enter. And I'll look for Eric to re-enter his, because I see his with the space in there. Need no space. All right. We've got 5 entries. Let's wait a little bit longer. It is a Blu-ray copy of Star Trek First Contact. So, now, since since the last prize is basically the same as the third, I'll just draw again for those interested. So, um, anyone who's interested, and Pale Rider, you would need to enter it the way that Gorillas did, or Eric Sander did the second time. Prize 3. Now, by the way, hey Kronos, hey Dr. Alex. And good job, Keely Chow. Good job. All right. Let's go ahead and have this giveaway, have the drawing, and we'll start. We got 5 entries. I'll give you a last second to enter prize 3, PRIZE, the number 3. Anyone who wants to enter, please enter now. And Pale Riders is just messing with you. That's cool. That's no problem. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and draw. And Gorilla's Random Thoughts wins prize 3. I know you are on Twitter as well. Just contact me on Twitter, and we will arrange sending you the Blu-ray. And since the fourth one is the same thing, I'll just draw again. And Gap Stargate. So I'm going to go ahead and have to mail the 2 together. I would like to congratulate Zolzatan, Gap Stargate, and Gorilla's Random Thoughts on winning prizes today, celebrating my 700th subscriber stream. And what are you all talking about? Let me see here. And prize 2. Let me get that together. Prize 2. There we go. Prize 4. Put those together. Mailing it in one package. And here we go. Let me get this done. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the stream. Go ahead and have a little bit of open lines. And thank you, Resolute Germ. I do appreciate that. Let's see here. Well, you entered and you won. We'll talk on Twitter and we got our winners for today. Wow. I can't believe I'm at 700 subscribers. This is amazing. I do want to thank everybody for subscribing. It does mean a lot, and it means a lot that you all are coming to the streams and supporting me and you know, it's a good thing. Chrono says, Captain Trek, did you see the new Dune movie? No, I haven't. And have you tried accessing your old accounts on Twitter? Your band accounts? You ever consider putting a hoop earring in?
Yeah, actually, I have. I haven't done it yet, but yeah, I have. Oh my god, it's so nice to finally have dual screens back again. And I love this camera because it actually looks nicer. Hell, my LED lights come in a lot nicer. I've actually gotten compliments on them. I guess they couldn't really be seen prior. There you go. Oh yeah, there we go. That's more my comfort zone.
Well, they could be seen. It was a little more difficult. Yeah.
Oh,
it's easier now.
Yeah, it's definitely nice. I enjoy this new computer. Yeah, had the fun time of putting everything back together again, but it's gotten easier in some ways, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing or if that's something I should actually worry about. I'm always hesitant anytime I start messing with new tech.
I would be.
Well, as I say, I may be paranoid. Doesn't mean I'm wrong.
Absolutely not. So, how is your evening going tonight?
It's going great. We today was kind of a busy day. Oh no, actually, let me tell you about this weekend, Captain. My father-in-law came into town this weekend, and he wanted to put up a garage door opener for us in well, actually, he wanted to put up two. Well, I thought it was funny. I made the joke. I was like, damn thing says easy to install. Yes, only took one mechanic, one technician, one administrator, 2 trips to the hardware store, and 3 pieces of wood that thankfully I did not throw out when I bought the house, and 2 YouTube videos, but we got it working.
Awesome.
Yeah, we got to a point though. The one part I was able to really do the most help with, except for a few other things, was
Turn on the computer.
well, no, not turn on the computer, but program the computer part. So apparently, this garage door opener, you had to. I mean, I was listening to my wife read the instructions to her dad as he's trying to program this thing, and I'm like something just. It sounds like there was something missing in the instructions.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like, okay, let me go. Like I go and I go on YouTube and I'm just like, okay, all right, Google, okay, Genie, because that's the model of it. And I was like, won't program or something like that. And then I watched the guy do a video on it, and that's when he actually mentioned something that wasn't in the instructions. When the light turns blue and then it starts blinking purple, that's when you're supposed to actually do the programming. See, they didn't realize that because they didn't say in the instructions, so they were waiting for the purple blinking light to end, and that's why the programming wasn't working.
Ah, and hey, Cap, what's up?
Big winner tonight, buddy.
And he's muted.
Okay, duh. All right. It's one of those days today. It's like, you're trying to save gas and you're trying to do a bunch of things at once, but like my medication, the doctor's like, I was like, I can't go all the way that way today. He's like, well, I'll bring it to the other location. And then the other medication isn't ready to tomorrow. And, it's like, and I've been in brain fog today. But I want to say congratulations, Captain Trek. You deserve it. You deserve to be monetized. And I'm flabbergasted about winning. I'm so excited because I don't happen to have all the Blu-rays and everything. So I really appreciate it. And, you're a great guy and we love your show. And you're so kind and giving to people. So
There we go. Got that set up. There we go. And good evening. Or
Yeah, here in Argentina right now it's night, so yeah. How are you, Captain Trey? I'm just gonna say congratulations to 700. I barely got to 100. I was happy as hell. I don't know how you're feeling, and I know for a fact that you're gonna be feeling really, really good right now because 700 is a really big milestone,
that is.
And sometimes, once again, I'm a lurker right now because I try to go to every kind of stream that I actually follow from subscribers. And this is the first time I actually talk because I was like, okay, for the first time I'm actually on time to talk a little bit because most of the time I just come and you were just ending the stream and I was like, I don't want to bother anyone. Yeah.
well, hey,
Oh man, you should have been here back in the early days. He used to go for like 6-7 hours.
Dude, I made a stream. I made like 4 or 5 hours when I just realized it was just 4 or 5 hours. It's like once you start talking, you just kind of lost your train of thought and time and everything around it. It's like sometimes I'll be like here, and my brother's like, "Hey, dude, we're making like a barbecue. Do you want to come?" I'm like, "I'll be right there." And it would be like 4 or 5 hours the first time he told me like, "We're gonna make a barbecue today." It can
Well,
happen,
like this morning, I had Culture Casino on. I had like 4 different topics that we were gonna try to hit on, and he's like, "Well, you got me for an hour." An hour and 45 minutes later, we didn't hit one single topic that we were going to talk about. Not
That's
one.
But that's honestly how it goes, because once you start talking, it's like, have you ever? It's like, have you ever like gone with friends and you're just like having a drink or something like that? You start talking about something so simple as the garage door from NG Grandpa, and you're like, sorry, NB Grandpa, and you're like, okay, so what happened with the door? Did you actually found a? It's like you start to go into a train of thought that you start to 2 hours before you realize it, and it's like it's normal. That's when you're actually having a good time. You don't realize that it's been like 2 hours because you're there. It's like, especially if you have a lot of people. Like when you have 5 or 6 people, it's even worse because you start like going from point to point. To me,
Well,
that's even.
I apparently I was supposed to guest on a show today, and unfortunately, we had planned that months ago, and I didn't even know we were getting together until like Monday. I happened to be on a channel. I was like, I was on the channel, and I was like, wait a minute, when are we supposed to do this? Wednesday. I was like, Wednesday, okay. And then Wednesday came, and then I had to realize I had to go. Wife wasn't feeling good. I had to go to Terre Haute to get. Finally got my new refrigerator cap.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, it's a little bit smaller, slimmer, kind of like one of those you would have in an apartment complex, but it's going to do the job. That's all that
Absolutely.
matters.
Absolutely.
I mean,
But
if
it was, but getting to what you were saying, sir, is you'll have those days where it's like, take a movie for example. You got movies that are like an hour and a half long, and you're like, did I just waste 6 hours of my life or something? And then you have movies that can be 3 hours long, and you're like, you never even looked at your clock. You never looked at your watch once.
yeah. For example, yesterday I saw for the first time in my life Fair and Loading in Las Vegas, and the 2 hours went flying. But I just realized when I finished watching the movie, I was like, what did I watch? And then I went to a stream from Toxic, to 32 flavors of Toxic, of Nick Weiser, sorry.
Hmm.
And I was like, I didn't like the movie. And then I started hearing them talking. I was like, okay, that's funny. And then I started making some kind of voice. I was like, okay, that was even a better movie than I hoped for because I didn't realize all these points. And I was like, and then I started like machinating into my head like the story and why, and if everything was a machination of the guy completely drugged. And you actually see it from another point. And I was so happy to actually be in that stream because I wasn't talking, but I was like talking with everyone else. And I was happy to be in that stream because I was like, okay, those 1 and 2 hours wasted in that movie because they made me realize it's a good movie after all. Because the point is to not understand anything at all because you're just seeing a guy completely drug up to his ass, and that's it. That's the movie. And I was like, okay, it makes sense. Sorry, once again, stop me if I talk too much. Sorry.
No,
My
not at all.
my wife actually mentioned a movie she watched, I believe last night or the night before, and it came out back in 2001, and was not a movie that I was ever even gonna contemplate seeing. You guys probably remember the movie Vanilla Sky,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
I remember the trailer, and I was just like, no, I don't really like the actress who played Cameron Diaz. That's her name. Not really a fan of Cameron Diaz. Didn't really care for her. I was kind of like, eh. I was 20 years old at the time. It just wasn't a movie I was interested in. And my wife watched it last night and actually said it actually was a decent slow burn that actually had a decent payoff. And I was like, okay. I because that was what I asked. I said, you said it's a slow burn. I said, is the burn worth the payoff at the end? She goes, yes, I think so. It's like, okay, I'll give it a look.
The
I mean,
movie.
no, go
Sorry?
ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were.
No.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Every time I watch something called a slow burn, it turns into a slow sleep.
Dude, my ex was like that. She was like, and we're gonna watch The Lord of the Rings. And it has a slow burn at the beginning, but it's gonna get great. At 5 minutes in, she was asleep, and I was like, damn it, 5 minutes. At least try to get until Gandalf appears. Damn.
My wife said the same thing about Lord of the Rings. She's like, I tried to watch it with my ex-husband. I fell asleep. I tried to watch him with you. I fell asleep. I tried to watch him while I was in Turkey. I fell asleep. She's like, they're just not for me. I'm like, well, at least you're consistent.
Dude, my only problem was, and this is a big gripe of mine because I love Kung Pao. My ex girlfriend never laughed once with that movie, and I was like, "Are you for real? Not even once?" And I love that movie. It's so stupid, so ridiculous, so such a great movie to me because it's stupid. I know it's stupid, but it's funny, and not even once, not even with one joke. And I was like, perhaps we have different kind of of humor. And then we saw one movie, one religious movie. I can't remember the name, and she was laughing her ass off, and I was like, "This is stupid." And she was like, "But this is funny." No, these are stupid jokes. And I was like, and then I understand that she has like kind of those kind of humor that if someone makes a joke that is so obvious, she laughs. And I'm like, that is. It's obvious she was gonna do that joke, and I'm like, no, that's not funny. Anyway, things that it can happen. We
So
fell in
Abbott
love
and
to.
Costello would go completely over her head.
Yeah, but we fell in love with people that sometimes don't share our own, our own likes or whatever. But we can understand because we gotta get a middle ground, perhaps. In fact, we actually enjoy watching like a lot of series and all that. But movies, it was hard to actually get her to watch a movie. In fact, I took her to watch Sonic the Hedgehog, and I was like, "Yes, Sonic, Sonic, Sonic!" I'm a big fan of Sonic. And she was like, "Oh, it was okay. It was okay movie." And I was like, "Have you watched it? Have we watched the same movie?" And I'm like, then I remember I'm a fan, so to me, it will be always better than to anyone else. So the second time when I went with my brother. He's a big fan of me as Sonic. I was like, we were like, yes, Sonic, Sonic, Sonic. And then he understood what I felt in the same day when I went to watch the first one. So that's a common ground that you actually have to understand. So it's normal for some people, and it's even better because if you actually have to, someday you're like kind of have like a headache and you don't want to talk, and they say, "Hey, want to watch Lord of the Rings?" And she will be sleeping in 5 minutes, so it would be nice.
That's why
Well,
she's your ex-girlfriend.
Yes.
well, I did
No.
manage to. I did manage to introduce my wife to Alien and Aliens. She had not seen either one of them, and I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna watch these two," and we did. And she was like, "They were both great. Yes, the second one was better." And it's like,
Yes.
"See, you guys like, see, you get it." My son, one day, Cap's heard this story a couple of times. I was up early. He was up early. He's like, "Dad, let's watch a movie." I was like, "Okay." On one condition, I'm like, "It's got to be something you haven't seen." So I start going through, and I was like, "All right." I grabbed Predator, and he had never seen Predator. So I'm like, he's like, "Is it scary?" I'm like, "Compared to what you watch on those 3 a.m. videos, I doubt it." Hey, that's what I said to him. Like, compared to what you watch on TikTok or whatever crap, probably not. So I put the movie in, and he's watching it. There's Mo's like, "Oh, he's dead. Nope, yeah, he's about to die." And then we get to the very end of the movie where, oh, by the way, he thought the whole handshake thing between Schwarzenegger and
Apollo Creed, yeah.
yes,
It will be.
yeah, that guy. He thought that was awesome as hell. I was like, "Oh god."
Yeah.
That for the first time, I'm like, "Oh, the chills."
Dude, have
And,
you ever seen the reaction video that they actually like shake hands and the world explodes? It's awesome.
and so we get to the end where the predator sets his self-destruct off, and it's like my son, as soon as he's got done and started seeing the little number things go, my son just literally goes, "Run, bitch! It's a bomb!" And I just looked at my son, laughed like all hell, and I was like, "Hey," I was like, I high fived him. I was just like, that was too damn good. I'm like, damn, 14 years old, and he knows what a bomb is quicker than Arnold Schwarzenegger did.
Let's be honest. If you ever play Mortal Kombat, you will understand that Cyrax used the same fatality. So, but sometimes it's funny because in that moment, perhaps the frozen, like if you see it from the point of view of Arnold, you kind of understand that. Not like you take 2 seconds to understand if he's gonna shoot at me or if that's a bomb. But yeah, such a great movie, that one. I still don't understand. The second one I can't remember a lot, except it was Danny Glover, perhaps the actor that was working that
Yes.
movie. Yes, that's the only thing I remember. I remember he was in New York and he was killing people. That's it. I can't
No,
remember anything
LA.
else. L.A.
LA.
Okay, even worse. I didn't even remember this. He was killing on. So yeah, and Honest to God, I still prefer the first one. Even the second one, it was good, but it was not as good as the first one. The first one had that kind of thing that the predator is actually predator. Yeah, no, I don't know. It was actually in the jungle, so he had the tactical advantage over Schwarzenegger at the
Hmm.
beginning, right? So the second one is more like this is a city. Anybody can like disappear if he wants to. Even better him, because he will be like anywhere else, and he will be like disappearing from point A to point B, and nobody will ever find him. So
I like the fact that they went from a hot tropical jungle to an urban jungle to change it up. I mean, that's an interesting change of pace to point out that yes, both can be classified by the predators as jungles.
Hey, Tommy, what's up?
hell,
Hey, Tommy.
Oh, fun fact about guinea pigs. Did you know their teeth never stop growing? That's why they're always chewing on things.
if they stop chewing, they actually can die from their own teeth. So yeah,
Yep.
the same with bunny. The same with bunnies, I think. Well, with some kind of rats. I can't remember exactly which ones, but it's funny sometimes because you kind of understand that. I was gonna make a video actually about this. Perhaps tomorrow I was gonna do a stream. It will be called like, "Do we really need a sequel for something?" Because sometimes you actually kind of understand that some sequels were great, but even in games there start happening like they're making sequels of sequels of sequels, and eventually like you kind of get like, I don't need this. This is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't kind of like follow any kind of story, and it just becomes like dull after all this time. So Predator is actually the second one, even if it wasn't that good. It's good. It's a good movie, but like, did we actually need like five more? Five more were? I remember it was three more. I think, right? Can't remember how many more there were. I just remember the last one that it was like, oh, that was a weird one. Same with Mortal Kombat. Why did we need that Mortal Kombat movie?
We didn't. We had a decent one in the '90s, and then they screwed it up, made a sequel that was
Yeah,
garbage, even by '90s standards, and then somehow they had all the material in the world from it, and got I don't even have a count of how many Mortal Kombat games there have been over the past 30 plus years.
Hmm.
And they decided, oh, we're going to create a completely new character so the fans can have someone to identify with, but nobody from the games of any era. That's how you fuck shit up. That's how you fuck up a franchise right there. That should have been some idiot in the writing room's red flag being like, that's kind of stupid.
the power was kind of stupid. They actually gave him plot armor. I couldn't believe when I saw it. I was like, "Are you for real?" They just give him like a body full armor like Colossus, and he had even more power. And the worst part was actually when Kano was killed by Sonya. Sonya actually got powers. It was like, "Are you for real?"
No,
Sorry,
what
spoilers.
really No, I'll tell you what was really bad about that movie, and I've never actually mentioned this in a movie before, but this was so prevalent. The editing was so damn bad. It's like every time somebody was talking, like for a long minute or something, it was like they would like at some point cut the Sonya blade, and it was like somebody, like some coach or something, was telling her, "Okay, the camera's on you, smile." And it was
Yeah.
like she just did not know what the hell to do during those moments. I was just kind of like, what the hell? This is the worst. I'm like, damn, if I can tell this is bad editing, this is bad.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I did think of something just now. That movie that your wife tried to watch three different times. Get a copy of it because if she ever has insomnia, put it on.
yep. That's not even the funny part about all this, and when you actually realize it, is like some people. I don't remember if I ever like. Yes, I remember one. I actually fell asleep watching Gladiator. a lot of people will tell me like it's a great movie, it's a great movie, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a watch. And I still remember that I fell asleep when he was telling that, "Are you entertained?" And I remember waking up with the moment that he was in like kind of like prairie or something like that, watching her wife dead or something like that, and I was like, "Oh, did it end?" And my brother was like, "Did you fall asleep?" I was like, "Yeah, for the first time ever." And up to this day, I still haven't seen that movie. And it's like I always like postpone it because I have other things to watch or play or whatever. And one day I know I'm gonna see it, I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna be like, perhaps it was a good movie, but I never realized that I fall asleep because I was tired or something like that. But I still remember why I fell asleep because that's the funny part. We were like when 20, 15 or 20 people in my house. We were watching it in a big screen because that was the first time we actually have like a 43-inch TV screen,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like DVD and all that, and we were watching it. Was like, this is boring, nobody's talking, everybody's watching the movie, and I'm kind of those people that you don't want me in movies because, for example, one day we actually watched Twilight, the first one, and the movie lasts for like I think 90 minutes to 120. I can remember exact time,
Right.
and it lasted for 6 hours because we stopped it and we started making jokes and we laughed and we started making jokes and more jokes, and the movie was glorious just for that because we stopped like making jokes after joke, and we were like, this movie is awful, but we're having such a good time that actually I would recommend doing that. Like, get a few drinks, get some friends, and start making jokes. It's great for that. But the movie is awful. And as I realized that when you actually watch a movie, for example, I went to watch Sonic 2, and me and my brother have the exact same problem. Sorry, my brother and me. And we start talking or making jokes, or when we actually hear a song, we start singing it, and people were watching me because and this is the funny part, the only ever in my life that I was in the cinema theater whatever that I was actually told to shut up was when I was watching Independence Day, the second one. I can't remember the name of the movie. And
Resurgence.
there we go. Because I said they had 20 fucking years to actually find what those weapons were doing, and they never even tried. And now they're telling me that right now are gonna try when they're attacking us. What the heck? And one girl was like in front of me, and she said like, "Shut up! Some people are actually enjoying this movie." And I was like, "Are you for real? This is awful." And I still remember this because that's the funny part. As we were like leaving, and I was like with my best friend and my girlfriend that time, my ex right now, and the girl said like leaving. I still remember. She said like this movie was good, and the guy, his boyfriend, whatever he was, say, "No, the guy in the back was right. This was shit." And I was like, "God damn it!" At least I got to one person because, honest to God, that movie I hated that movie, and I hated it because. Independence Day was like such a guilty pleasure, the first one, because we knew it was cheesy, whatever. We don't care. It was a good movie to like grab some popcorn, be with some friends, you catch it on TV and you watch it. It's like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the second one was so stupid. Especially that part. It was like you had 20 years to actually find something. You never found something in 20 years, but the moment they actually attack you, you're like, oh, they have shields. No shit, they had shields 20 years ago. What do you? That was a moment that I actually remember because of that. Because it was like that was the moment that I stopped like going to the cinemas unless I was really interested to a movie, because a friend of mine will tell me like, "Oh, let's go to see a movie," and we were like, "Okay, let's go see a movie." And I still can remember the one that I actually watched. It was like I can't remember. It was in the deep sea or something like that. I can't remember the movie. And that was one that we choose like for because we were in the cinema. We are like, okay, let's watch something. It was such a good movie. I actually like started to do that, like go into the cinema, pick a random name out of nowhere, and
Mm-hmm.
we will watch it. And that's the thing that I always do. I never watch trailers. I don't like to see trailers because that's a problem that I have. Sometimes I have a really big memory for images. So if I see an image and I kind of understand what is happening and it's made it obvious or I understand, it's like when I see it, it doesn't make the same impact that if I watch it for the first time. So so that's a thing they actually have. So for example, if somebody like, and it has happened to me, for example, if somebody's telling me like 10 years from now that I was watching a game and he tell me the ending, I will remember it as I'm playing it. So it will make the impact of the ending awful because I will be like, oh, I just remember that. And this is the same with movies. I don't like to see trailers because of that. So I will go to a cinema, choose a movie at random, and I will see that one. If back in the day, right now it's not like that because it's like $20 or $30 to watch a, a movie. So it's like a big decision nowadays. So
Yeah.
but it's something that but that's what I like about cinema, because if you choose a good movie and you have a good time, even if it's a bad movie, I know it can happen, but if you choose a great company to actually watch it, you will even enjoy it. For example, sorry. For example, I went to watch the Fury of the Titans. I think it was the one that it has the let's release the Kraken, and it take like 40 minutes to actually release the Kraken. But that one, my friend, I had a friend. We will call him Skinny Flaco here in Argentina. So he started making jokes and another joke, and I made another joke, and he made and we started making jokes around the movie, and we're back in the back, right in the back, and nobody was listening to us. So we started making jokes, uh, and he still remembers. I still remember one of the jokes that it was so stupid because he had like a little flute, and I was like, he's gonna break it. What? He said he's gonna break it, and the other guy asked for the flute, and he actually breaks it. I was like, "Come on, movie, stop being obvious!" And he started laughing. And he said, "Like, somebody's gonna make a joke about that." And he made a joke. It's like that. So when you actually have like a good friend to be in a movie, you don't care if the movie's bad because you start making jokes, and he's like, "You're having a good time." And then you go to like buy something like to eat after, and you're like talking shit about the movie, and that's the thing that nobody understands, that streaming doesn't have it anymore. And sometimes that's great for actually like being here right now, like I am, or somebody, sorry, Captain Trey, sorry, Kronos, I didn't mean to actually take all the time.
Just ignore him. Hey,
Ignore the greatest troll on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Zen Zoltan, you just reminded me of a show that I used to watch, Flaco y Gordo.
Oh, that's a good one. It's actually really known right now.
Is
And
it on?
no, it's a big old one, but it's a classic. It's here in Argentina we actually have like Olmedo and Porcel, which it was kind of the same but in Argentinian mode, and it was such a weird thing. But they actually had one of the best movies that I ever seen in Argentina because it's so stupid, and I'm not joking about this. It's a copy from E.T., the extraterrestrial, but with a monster called Monguito. Which the funny part about Monguito is that if you actually understand it here in Argentina, Monguito, it's like kind of like a classic because it's and I'm not joking about this. I could show you pictures. In fact, that is like a big doll weird, like it's in a piece of wood, and they actually transport him every time they actually have to talk, and he talks in like in Coco Cuckoo. I'm not joking. It's such a weird movie because here in Argentina, they used to do like in back in the 80s, they will do like a movie for 40 minutes and 3 hours of music in the middle that doesn't have any any kind of sense inside the movie.
Anything to do with it, yeah.
And
Wow.
that was normal because, for example, in the middle of the movie, they start like singing like if it was a Broadway show. Bollywood, it's the same as Bollywood, but in the 80s, it was like that. So in that time, it was normal to do that, to actually make a lot more time for a movie that wasn't a movie. So, and another thing about this movie that is funny as hell, because we were watching in a stream live, and I was like, okay, what the? And they actually stole the sound from the Doctor Who TARDIS when he leaves for making the UFO, whatever you want to call it, that Monguito lives on. So I was like, that's Sonny from Doctor Who. What the hell is doing here? And I was laughing my ass off because, and I could actually show you like 10 seconds, and you will laugh your ass off. I will try to find a picture to show you.
I'm going to go find that. And I just want to say a quick hello to Zach and let everybody know that I'm on my phone and I can't type in a response. But Zen Zoltan, you know what I really love with friends, and we would just laugh our ass off in Puerto Rico, is the novellas.
Yeah.
If you want to laugh your ass off, watch telenovelas, Spanish soap operas. You will laugh your ass off.
Era shared one of the pictures of Monguito. You have to see this one. I'm not joking when I say that it's a doll, and it's weird. If you can show it, Captain Trey, I'll be more than delighted to actually show you.
Let's see here.
This thing. I'm not joking. That is Monguito. That is a doll. If I can actually like,
Oh my god, it looks familiar.
yeah, I'm gonna try to find a picture of them like taking it from a spin, like because it was in the middle of a piece of wood, and it. Oh, damn it.
He had
It's
the spaceship, didn't he? That he took off
yeah,
in.
yeah. There we go. There we go. I found one. I found one. This is the image that I want to show you. I'm gonna add it to the other one, if I can. Let me just.
Hey, Cap, it's 7 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, bud.
Absolutely. You take care.
All
Take
right,
care,
you all
Andy.
have a good one. Good to see you all. Y'all take care.
All right, bye.
Hi. Let me just hide it for a second, and I'm gonna. How do I do that?
That kind of looks like he looks like he could be in a Star Trek movie. Oh my god.
Are you seeing that one? Yes.
Yes.
There we go. That's the one. That's a piece of wood with a bit of that's the monster. That's the extraterrestrial that they're actually showing, and that's a piece of wood that they actually like. He was in a basket, and the basket was only that. And that's the funny part because as they are taking it like from for a spin, you actually see the it was made from plastic or something like that, or like I don't know what it was, and he moves like a little bit of. Have you ever seen those wonky? I don't know how it's called. The little thing that have the hands that blow with the air. That those things. He actually moves a lot because it's made of plastic and it's awful. But I'm not joking. This is one. If you have the opportunity to actually find it, watch it because even if you don't understand anything at all, you don't have to understand it because only the image tells you the story. It's like these two guys can get like a woman, so Monguito gives him sexual powers. I'm not joking. That's what he gives him. So that's the point of the movie. and honest to God, this is here in Argentina. They actually made one day. I found one, and one of the guys that I was like walking in the middle of a street, and he had a passion for Monguito. Actually, he said "pasión por Monguito," which he had the image of this image, and that writing in the T-shirt, and I was like, ah, where did you get that T-shirt? And he said, like, I made it. I had it done because I wanted one for this stupid movie, and I was like, yeah, it's a great movie because it, honest to God, is such a bad movie that is funny. It's awful. It's fucking awful. Well, I'm gonna stop sharing it. I'm not joking with this. It's awful. It's an awful movie. You can actually skip like 30 to 40 minutes of the movie, but the scene that he actually appears, you laugh your ass off because it's such a. Sorry to say it, and I don't know. We can curse here. I still don't know.
Yeah, you're right, Gorillas. It does look like AT.
Well, you could say pendeja, pendejo, de la pendeja.
No. I wanted to say it's a shitty. It's a shitty doll after all. Yeah, it's made with how we say it here. It's made with two. When 2 pesos, when 2 pesos. It's made with $2, or even less sometimes. And that's the funny part because here in Argentina, we had one of the best series that I just found out that a guy actually uploaded it to YouTube, which is called Los Simuladores, which is a great show. And I wanted to make streams to actually show that show to everyone because it was made with $2. Honest to God, the actors and the producers and everything, they actually had to take their credit cards to make that show.
Wow.
And I'm not joking. They went all red to just make that show. And it's such a good show because it's like when you see Doctor Who, they will make it like with $10, and I don't care. It wasn't about the effects or it was making it real to the person that's actually watching it. So that's the funny part because as they are los simuladores, which mean the simulators, they make simulation to make people believe what they need them to believe. For example, a guy that is a really big hypochondriac, he actually always think the worst of the diseases and all that. They actually make him think that he has a problem, almost to have a cancer. So he actually believes it, and that's the funny part because they use that to actually implant into his. It's something like Inception. They make him believe that all the stress that he has for his work will make him that reappear. So at the ending, that's the funny part, and I really like I really mean to. You should watch it. That's the funny part. It's like it's made with $2, and I'm not joking. It's all because, and that's the funny part because it's such a good story. Because if you were in that position, you will actually believe it. Just if you take it for 5 seconds and you think like, I don't know these guys. I don't know what they do, and I'm just like taking a coffee, and you start like going to the bathroom every 5 minutes, and you start feeling feverish, and you start feeling this and that, and you get like two doctors. They actually show you, and you have like 100 degrees in fever, and you're like, I will be the same. I'll be like, oh shit! If I'm up a contract, I will be like, damn it, what the hell do I have right now? What happened? And they start like making it believe you as you see it, like they make a colonoscopy, everything. They make everything to make you believe it. So the guy is actually like, in a moment, they even rise his own blood pressure, like make the machine that is actually making the sound like he's like cold blue, and they come like bring me adrenaline. He's going into a heart attack, and he believes it. So that's the point. That's the point, to actually make you believe that this is one episode. I'm not joking. There are great episodes, but as you see it, you kind of understand that if you were in that position, you will believe it. And that's the funny part. That's the great part. It doesn't mean if it's a great production or whatever. It's the imagination of, if you were in that position, will you believe it? I will be like, yeah, I will believe it. I will be like, ah, shit, that happened to me for real. And 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 that's the great part, because as you understand why they do it, it's because they want to help people. That's it. And even if even if it isn't like it should be, sometimes it makes sense. For example, and this is the funny part. This is an episode that is actually they are challenging the FBI. I'm not joking. That's the point of that episode, because one of their own crew started like making a terrorist attack to make a press like a press guy, write a good like a good review for a show for another person. And the FBI was like, and this is funny because it was 2002 and they knew about this. They're like, after the 2001, everyone was on high alert. Everyone was like hearing everything from every country, and that was a reality. We knew about that.
Mm-hmm.
And when they get like caught from the FBI, you actually have to see that episode, because it's such a weird thing, because it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. It's funny, and that's the point that I'm trying to make. Because if you were in that moment, you will realize that they actually, like in some place, they make you believe what happened. And once again, you can actually watch it on YouTube. Can I share that? If I can share that, because one guy actually like uploaded all the episodes, but one I think 3 were like copyrighted because of the music or whatever. But I would like to this guy, I want to try to make the best to show it to everyone, because he took like 1 year to actually subtitle every episode, and he made a great job. I actually watched it completely, and the subtitles are perfect, except for a factor or two that
Mm-hmm.
like you need to make an NDT. Have you know what that is? NDT is a not from NFT. Sorry, not from translator. Because sometimes you actually have to understand how Argentina works to make it work that in the show. But it's a great translation, and that's what I really love about it, because he took the time. I'm gonna put it on pause, and I'm gonna show you this. This is the channel. Just 1 second. I'm gonna share the screen. Sorry to take so much of your time, Captain
Oh,
Trek.
no problem.
I know it's your celebration, but sorry. This is what I do. Stop me if I talk too much. This is a channel. This guy took like 1 year to actually subtitle, and you actually, if you see it, you have all 20. There's 28 episodes, but he
Wow.
actually translated 28 episodes. But I don't know why YouTube made the same to me with the stream. They tried to copyright me because one song started like for 4 seconds and copyright, and they don't care. And he actually took the time to put the songs and all that. But he has all the 24 other episodes, which the 3 ones they are good, but they are not so important, but they are good. And he actually has like, if you want, you can watch it from anywhere that you want, because Netflix has it. And he put like to download all the subtitles if you want it right there in Google Drive. So
Take care,
uh,
Kronos.
take care, Kronos.
Later,
Sorry,
Chronos.
once again, if I'm talking too much, stop me. I'm tend to do that. because I don't. I start talking and I start talking, and once again, sorry for my English. I'm from Argentina. I try my best, and I'm self-taught. I don't know a lot of words sometimes. So
Honestly,
No,
I
you speak very well.
you do. Yes.
I try my best. I try to learn from a lot of people that I actually follow. So and once again, congratulations, Captain Treg. And I know how hard. uh,
Thank
I
you.
don't know. I never asked you this because I was watching. I think it was 1 month ago since I started following you. How many years have you been on YouTube?
Uh, About two.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't realize because I'm not joking about this. I have had this account since 2008 or 2007, I can remember, and I had 75 followers, subscribers, and I don't know where they came from, and I don't know who they are or whatever. So I was like, okay, I got to 100. Who the hell are the other 75? I was like, okay, well, at least I have some people that actually watch me, so that's nice. Uh,
Absolutely. So,
there we go. Thanks, Bone, for sharing. Yep, sorry.
absolutely. Thank you.
So sometimes it's funny because we just realized that once again, I do this because I love to talk to people. I don't like to. In my streams, it's the same. If I start talking by myself in half an hour, I will shoot it. I will shut it down because I start to go through, like they say in your language. In my language, is different. You're from Puerto Rico, so you understand me. Yo hablo hasta por las ramas, which it
Hmm.
means talking out of the box. You start talking about one thing, one another, and you start going
It keeps
from
on
one
going,
point
and
to
you go somewhere
yeah.
else.
And that's how my mind works. So sometimes I will like be thinking about a show, and that show tends it like connects to another and connects to, and that's how I go. So sometimes I will be like, "Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm fine. Have you ever?" And I will be like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Have you watched this one?" And I will be like, start talking, and that's how it work. I could never like stop that. And once again, that's another thing that I have. I don't know when to stop. So you have to stop me if you know. I don't want to like. If this is your channel, I don't want to like take your time or whatever. But like I said, you have to stop me because I don't stop. I'm used to like go to a party and everyone's like having a drink and you're like, I'm the dude that sometimes even people will understand me like I'm the dude that's actually in every kind of conversation if you can. And this is the same with YouTube. I subscribe to a lot of people, and you will see me, and you will not see me sometimes because I try to go to every place that I can.
Hmm.
So, and as I started subscribing, I think like I subscribed to like 100 people already from 1 month. So I try to be in every kind of place that I can. So this is the first time I try to be here. So since it was an open stream, I entered.
I appreciate
Um,
that. I do. So, congratulations, Gap. Howard. I hope you do like the Blu-rays.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it. I was flabbergasted at the first one, and then when my name came up again, I was like, "Wow!" Again, double package. Yeah, I mean, I love the Star Trek, except for um, what's that pukey one? Discovery. I don't like Discovery and Picard.
uh, who will?
I I
Uh,
I think they effed it up. But I like the old stuff, and I like
Yeah.
the old movies. Like today, I watched Leviathan.
Hmm.
How you say that? Leviathan,
Yeah.
with Peter Weller. Everybody's like, "Oh, that's just a B movie." Now it's entertaining. It's kind of like Aliens, but it's entertaining. And I've been trying to what my friends make fun of me. I have 2000. Now I'm up to 2105 DVD and or Blu-rays, and I always complain that I do not have time to watch movies, and they're like, "Why do you keep on buying them?" I was like, "Because they have this store in the U.S. called the Dollar Tree, and actually it should be called the $1.25 because they raised the price." But
Yep.
excuse me, you can find great movies brand new, even with what do you call those codes, digital codes,
Hmm.
and
mhm.
you can share that with a friend or give it away or something like that. and I just can't help buying them. Like, I just got, what is this one? Vincent Price,
Hmm.
movie Night of the Living Dead, The Last Man
Wow.
on Earth
Oh,
with Vincent Price, and
Cool.
White Zombie with Bela Lugosi, and
oh, that's a good one.
yeah, and Zenzoten,
Hmm.
$1.25.
Dude, this is the same when I start talking about this kind of things. They don't believe me. Here in Argentina, sometimes we get like really big discounts just because, like, you can go to a flea market. I'm a big, retro collectionist, of games and all
Oh
that.
yeah, I like
So
that.
yeah, and I go to like a flea market that I have right here in my town. That is the biggest one in Latin America. So I go there, and you're like, one day I was like, "Are you for real?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah." How much? Because I saw a Nintendo DSi. That's a big console. And I was
Yeah, how
like, "How much?
much?
How much?" I was like, and he said like $30, and I was like, 25. He said 25. No, it's too little. I was like, okay, and I went like one. I went like one block. I came back and I was like, "Are you gonna?" And he said, "Okay, 25." There we go.
Oh, and
And
by the way, thank you everyone for the congratulations. I don't want to interrupt my yes, I just wanted to thank you all for congratulating me. That means a lot.
Yeah, I like the market flea market
yeah, flea
market
market.
flea. Sometimes I reversed my words. The flea
Yeah, it
markets,
happens.
and I like the. I even
Yeah,
sometimes go to pawn shop
yeah, I do the
because
same.
the pawn shop you can. I mean, people are like, "Are you crazy?" I was like, "This Doctor Who War of the Daleks DVD set
Oh,
with the screwdriver in it."
oh,
Okay, that's worth 1,100 US dollars. I got
yeah.
that at the Dollar Tree,
Ha!
$1, and people are like,
Are
"What?"
you shitting me?
No, no, and I got some of the Doctor Who special movies and Christmas stuff at that dollar store, and
Yeah.
everybody's like, "What?" And I'm like, "You heard me. I ain't repeat myself."
That's the funny part because some people don't believe me, but I actually had like a Game Boy Color for 100, even less. I think it was $10, 10 or $20. I can't remember. And I had a copy of Pokemon Blue that I actually got it for free because a friend of mine didn't want it. And he had like 20 games and it was like, "I'm gonna throw it. Do you have anything that I could like?" And I gave it for like a big little computer I have that it was like a Palm or something like that. That I had it for just because. And he was like, "Oh, sure, give it to me." And I was like, "Sure, what do you have to give to me?" And he said, "I have a Game Boy Color with some games." And he had a Game Boy Color complete with the bag, the box, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon trading card game, and like 10 more games and an original charger. All that for a computer that is now more than $10.
Wow.
And he was like, "Do you want it?" Sure, give it. And sometimes you go like this, and the same happened to me because I found a collection of Keyblades for Kingdom Hearts for less than, I think it was $5. And those kind of things happens a lot here. And when just I like to buy a lot of things secondhand. I don't mind if it's secondhand because that's one of the things that I have. I like to buy a console, whatever, and I clean it, I repair it or something like that sometimes. And for example, the other day, my brother bought a Nintendo SNES Mini, Super Nintendo Mini, for $50. And that same guy that actually sold him that for $50, he had it in box and everything. He said like, "I have another one, but it's not. It doesn't have a box." And I said like, "How much you want it?" Because I asked my brother. He said like he wants 40. Sure, tell him tomorrow. And I was like, he bought us the SNES Mini and about the exact same the other day. I mean, the past that day, another one for the same guy because he had two. I don't know
Yeah.
why. Don't ask me why. But he actually like charged me even less just because it doesn't have a box. So I don't mind not having the box, but I wanted the console.
Yeah, and like the DVDs, when I found out how much they actually cost to make, I was like, you know what? I'm going secondhand on some of them. But,
Yeah,
like the big franchises, if they
I
have
especially.
the collector editions or whatever you call,
Hmm.
I like to have those new. but then I shop around until it gets the lower price. And I found out on the Amazon that if you do the Google search for the product first, about 85% of the time you find it cheaper.
Hmm.
And you just log in from there instead of logging in from the app. And, you know, it's crazy. But yeah, I like to go to the secondhand stores and
I prefer to actually buy it secondhand sometimes because I don't like to give money to those kind of companies that don't deserve the
Mhm.
money. For
Yeah.
example, I bought like 2 months ago a second-handed game from Tokiden, which is I love Tokiden, and in the PS Vita I played it, and I wanted to actually play it on the Vita too, the second one, because the first one Kiwami I finished it there, and in the PSN store it was $40. And I started like looking up because there was a PlayStation 4 version, and I knew it is the exact same game. It even works better because it had connectivity and everything like that. And I thought, okay, let's go secondhand. How much does it charge for a person? You know, the person that's actually selling it. And one guy was actually selling it complete. It's still it's still like with the original how's it called when they actually still pack mint condition. Let's just call it
Yes.
Mhm.
in
Yes.
mint condition for $10.
Yeah.
I was
Wow.
like, sure, dude. They send it to me. I was like, I don't care, give it to me. And like 2 or 3 weeks after, I went to see Sonic the Hedgehog second movie, and we were like walking with my brother, and we saw a store that is actually known is Nets Games here, as it's called, and he had like a lot of collection of games. And he has Tokiden True in mint condition, completely sealed, and all that for exactly $50. And I was like, dude, I, this guy actually has 4 copies. So if you actually want to play Tokyo, you can actually buy 2 more copies because I bought one and another one actually bought it in the same time. But that's the funny part. Sometimes second-hand is even better because you're giving money to the person that actually can use that money
Yeah.
and is not giving it to the company that actually released Tokiden 2 and didn't even care to actually make a new DLC or whatever. They released it and that was it. And that person actually had it in mint condition, still on the package, everything. And it was like, even if he said like he was sold it like used, he put it like used, and I was like, dude, it still has the film. He said like, yeah, but I bought it and I kept it here for like 3 years. Why are you wait? Like it is used, even if I didn't open it, but it's a mint condition. Yeah, but it's still considered used in this program. And here in Argentina, we have two only ways to actually buy something from one person to another: Facebook or Mercado Libre, which is like an eBay from Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
So the Mercado Libre actually gets like a commission for that, but it's like less than 5%, I think. So most of the time I do the same. I like if I have to buy something from someone, I like say like close it in an even number if you can. And they say to me like, why? Because I like to give a little bit more. Because I know if, for example, I'm starting collecting like Sega games, and I know for a fact that if I want to buy like Sega, for example, I buy Rocket Knight Adventures,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy that is sold it to me, he wanted like $30 because it was in the box and everything like that. I say like, for 35. He said, "Oh, why you get? Because you have a collectible right there, and I want it." And he was like, "Yeah, sure, man, whatever you say." And it's like it's not a lot of money if you put it into account because it's not a lot of
Right.
money. It's like a little bit more, but if he actually has
Well,
the time, he takes the time to give it to me. He sends it to me, in a big package and all that. I will pay you a little bit more, just in
right.
case, because I want to keep you as happy as I'm happy to get it. It's the same with everything, and that's why I was gonna. I had a Switch. I had two Nintendo Switch. One that is, mm, let's just call it not so legal, and one that is legal. And the one that was legal was completely broken. It had a little bit, the Joy-Cons were like used, really used, and it had like I had a lot of games that I didn't want to play because I already played them.
Right.
So I gave the opportunity to some guy and say like everyone was selling it around. Now, I'm not joking, $600 to $700 here, even used.
Uh,
Whoa.
Yeah,
wow.
it's pricey as shit. Sorry, but and I said like, do you want it? He said like, yeah, but I don't have. I have only like 500. Sure, man, send it to me. He was like, "Are you for? Yeah, yes. I don't care. I'll send it to you, but because I want to buy a new one in box and everything like that. And I have a nice shop, and I'm gonna touch wood just in case because I like to keep it here in Argentina. It's impossible to know, but
Yeah.
anyway. And and I sell it to him, and with that money I'm gonna buy a new one in box, and I'm gonna start buying the games, the games that I want to play, especially in online versions, because that console that's the problem here. If I wanted to buy the new Joy-Cons, was like $200, and if I wanted to change the display because it was kind of broken or whatever, it was another 30 more, another $150 more. So like a new console is 700. I sell this one. A guy is completely happy because he has some games and the console, and I buy a new one. That's it. And I'm like, and the
Mhm.
guy was like, "Oh, dude, are you shit? No, no, keep it." And I gave it with Bayonetta 2 and Zelda Breath of the Wild. I was like, keep those games too. I was sending, and I sent him a big package. He actually is like, he sent me a picture of his little kid playing it, so I was happy because I know for a fact that that little guy is gonna enjoy Zelda Breath of the Wild. And that's a
Absolutely.
problem that I had because as I saw that I use it as portable as in the TV, and I like to see it well. And those kind of games in portable, if it's a little bit scratched, and that's the thing. If you buy a console, please buy the protectors. If you buy a thing that is pricey, buy the protectors. That's a given.
Oh
I,
yeah.
I I always buy the protectors for everything, and I know that some people will tell me like, "Oh, you should." No, no, I buy it. Why? Because last night I tend to like play a game, play a Switch a little bit, and then I put it on this cover. It's a rigid cover, everything, whatever. And I woke up in the middle of the night resting over the console, and the cover didn't even budge. Because why? Because it was made of metal. So that's the thing that I do just in case.
You
You
were
need
just
to,
you were
yeah,
just trying to hug it in your dream.
perhaps I don't know, but that's a funny thing, and I tend to do those kind of things. So I always prepare just in case. The same here, and I don't know if Captain Trey has ever got to do with that or whatever. And I know if you're from Puerto Rico, you probably have to do that. But here in Argentina, we have like, in fact, last night we had one. We have power outages, a lot of them. If it's a little rain and if it's a little wind, you have a power outage. So
Wow.
last night there was a rain and a little bit of wind, 3 hours without light. That's it. 3 hours without any kind of electricity. So I always charge on my portable devices just in case. My Nintendo Switch had 100% of the of the battery. Those 3 hours was like, I don't care. I will keep on playing. So that.
Absolutely. And
eh,
I do want to encourage everybody to subscribe to the Bosco scenario, please, as
Oh,
Bode has
sure.
put in the chat.
Let me just give it a little bit. Do you
It's-
have a channel, Gap?
yeah, it's Gap Stargate.
I'll have to look at. Well, sorry, I just got called because dinner is ready, so I will leave right
Absolutely.
now. But
Well,
once
thank you
again,
for joining.
no, dude, anytime. If you ever, I'm like, if you do open, I will come every week if you want. I don't have any problem. That's the thing I have. I love to talk to people, and I don't want. Once again, stop me if I talk too much. But
Uh,
that's the thing that I do.
What do you want me to say, Zenzoten? Cállate.
Podrías decirlo, no hay ningún problema.
Cállate, por favor.
Cállate. Silencio, muchacho. Okay, allow me to explain it to you, Captain Trek. That's given from the Simpsons here in
right.
Latin America. So it's when Bart actually wants to try. Do you have government approval? Is like silence kid? Well, yes, silencio, muchacho. Well, once again, I want to congratulate you, Captain
Thank
Trek,
you.
and an honor to actually be here. And as I said, I'll talk a lot, and I do it a lot. And I will be live right now because I'm gonna go eat, and then I'm gonna go be live on Pacific because he told me that every pop talk is actually open, so I will be there too. Uh,
Absolutely.
Well,
And I,
no,
I
so,
it was nice to meet you, and it's
Senga,
nice. It's nice to talk to people from all around the world,
same.
and
absolutely.
and you were a lot of fun, and
Thank you.
everything.
You too, man. Honestly, hey, if I make a stream, if you want to stop by, I have no problem. Just tell me. I'm on Twitter. I'm on. If you find a San Sultan anywhere around, it's me. It doesn't. And there's not another San Sultan. In fact, I had a little bit of problem because a friend of mine actually made let's just call it a joke account in some places, and he started like sharing Edward pictures from Twilight. But that's another story for another day. But let's just say it like this: I was feeling bad one day that I actually had too much to drink, and he said like, for every minute that you just get up from your bed, I will post an Edward and any kind of your social media, and I still have them. And he put
Oh,
like
Lord.
he's so dreamy, he's so beautiful, and with a face of Edward everywhere. And I was like the next day as I get up, I was like, God damn it, I have 300 pictures somewhere around it. And he actually changed all my pictures from my cell phone for a lot of pictures of Edward.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my.
that's
Well,
what you get when you have friends
I
like
don't
that.
want to keep you from having your dinner.
Not a problem, man. And once again, I congratulate you. Pleasure to meet
Thank
you,
you.
Gap. And whenever you want me, I will be here.
Okay,
Bye.
likewise. Bye.
Bye, everyone in chat. Thanks a lot.
Oh wow. I do want to thank everybody who's been here. That you all have been very kind to show up. It was so nice of you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
ahead. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up. Did he say that Pacific's gonna be on?
Yeah, he did. Except for
Okay,
I'm on my phone, so I can't drop the link.
no problem. Um, Bone, if you could find Pacific 414, I would appreciate that.
Well, congratulations again. You deserve that and more. And as
I
soon
guess
as
in this case, congratulations to you too.
well, thank you. Um, uh, I just have to adjust my sleep schedule's been off because usually I get up in the morning early, but lately I probably shouldn't be looking at Twitter before I go to bed because that seems
Probably
to
not.
keeps me it keeps me awake. But now that Elon has bought it, people how they really think are coming out of the woodwork. So it's blowing up my timeline, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting, and well, that's interesting, and stop it and go to bed. But you know, but what can you do, right?
Absolutely. But yeah, look for ugh, good grief. Clicked on the wrong window. All of a sudden, it's like what? Okay. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to Gap Stargate. And hey, Thane, what's going on? And good night. And well, again, thank you everybody for watching. I'm going to go ahead and call this a stream. Thank you very much, and talk to you soon.